Okay, so I'm about to watch Doctor Strangelove. This is a movie made from Stanley Kubrick, who I never really saw a lot of his movies, but before we get to this one, I might as well just explain my thoughts on the other movies that I have seen. Um, although although it's gonna although it's kind of hard for me to remember what they are. Um, okay, so I have seen 2001: A Space Odyssey, and although I understand why it was so inspirational, I understand why it is such a groundbreaking film because the movie's gorgeous. The cinematography in it is fantastic. But it's one of those movies where it's not for everyone, especially. I wasn't that big of a fan of it. Um, I was actually I was actually very bored throughout a huge majority of this movie. Um, but even then, like, I understand why it is such a great movie. I understand why a lot of people love it. Um, but I don't see it as a masterpiece like a lot of other people say it is. Um, Another movie that I have seen is Full Metal Jacket. Um, the f- it, the thing is that like it was a very intense film. It was very well done, very on edge. Um, it was a very intense film that I have never seen a movie like that before, and to this day um, I still get chills thinking about it. Like even now, my heart's starting to race every time I think about this movie. But it's good. It's a really good movie. The first half was phenomenal. The second half is not as great, but when it goes down to, but I don't regret watching it. I really do enjoy Full Metal Jacket. Um, and the last one, which is actually my favorite movie of all time, it's The Shining. Um, I don't really know exactly how I can describe my love for The Shining, but long story short, it inspired me in so many ways in terms of cinematography and movie making, especially with storytelling. The music is terrifying. The movie's gorgeous. The cinematography is fantastic. Um, the characters were likable, yeah. At this point, I'm basically just talking about The Shining at this point. Um, so I'm about to see Doctor Strangelove. This is on HBO Max. Um, Hopefully this isn't a mistake. Hopefully watching this won't be a mistake. Uh, Hopefully I'm not regretting this decision. So let's see how this goes. Oh my gosh. Okay. Um, okay, so I just got back from watching Doctor Strangelove, and I I am so confused, and there's something about this movie that I couldn't help but love it. Okay, um, now for those who haven't seen it, I don't really know how I can describe the plot for this. Basically, um, the main gist behind the story is that the world is coming to an end due to a doomsday machine, and the government is trying to do whatever they can to stop it. Um, and the movie it's mainly about trying to go to gripes and try to embrace the end of the world with open arms and trying to do whatever you can to embrace it, really. To just respect or just basically try to go to terms with the fact that the end of the world is coming, and so try to make the most out of it. Um, um, this is one of the weirdest movies I've ever seen. uh, it is so bizarre. One of the most bizarre movies I've ever seen. But then again, a lot of Stanley Kubrick movies are bizarre. I don't know where I'd rank this one. Okay, because like I said, like I've seen 2001: A Space Odyssey, Full Metal Jacket, and The Shining. I think out of the movies I've seen so far, and also I apologize for the water in the background. We have a fish tank at home. But if I had to rank it, I'd say 2001 is probably my least favorite. And now it's not to say it's bad, but it's just not my thing. I understand why it's such a beloved movie though. Full Metal Jacket is my third, and Doctor Strangelove at number 2. The Shining will always be number 1, but that's only because it's my favorite movie. But yeah, if you've never seen this movie, check it out. It's on HBO Max. That's how I saw it. I don't have a copy of it yet, so this movie was so bizarre, but it was hilarious. When it gets to the war scenes, it is intense. It is extremely intense to watch, especially if you're watching it on a big screen or a big TV. I can't imagine. I can't even imagine how. I can't even imagine how intense it must have been when when people saw this in the theater. A lot, just like all the other Stanley Kubrick movies that I've seen, the cinematography in this is great. The movie is very, very well shot. The characters were interesting, to say the very least. And without giving it away, how it ends, it was weird. And one of the things that I always admired about Stanley Kubrick's movies is that it feels every Stanley Kubrick movie has a hypnosis vibe to it. I don't know if it's due to the characters or the acting or the cinematography, but something about the movie, all of Stanley Kubrick's movies that I've seen, it feels so much like a dream, and it's interesting. That's one of the things That's one of the things that I always found extremely interesting about his stuff. Even when I was watching it, like I felt like I was being hypnotized in a way, and I didn't want to stop watching it. I'll tell you this: if you see it for the first time, you may not like it. You may not like it in the first viewing that much. So I think it's for the best to at least give it another viewing. But that's just me. The movie's hilarious. It was really entertaining. And that's pretty much all I can think of at the moment. It's a really good movie. If I had to give it a grade, I'll give it an A-. It's a really, really good movie. Definitely check it out. It's worth it. It's a really good movie, really interesting. I don't really know what else to say. Just watch it. Hopefully you'll like it. And for those of you who have seen it, let me know what you think of it. So yeah, that's about it. That's all I can say at the moment. So take care.